Hello everyone, I'm Tone300. Welcome back to another episode of Greg Tech New Horizons. We're here in the MV age and we're going to continue on from where we left off last time. We were doing a few quests and we're going to hate this, 1, 2, 3, and we want to do 4, 5 and 6 if we can. But as with all these other quests we've got everywhere with different machines and stuff, there's a component we need, and that is good circuits. So obviously we know how to make the motors and the pistons and things like that now. Aluminium rods we've got quite a good stock on. Copper cables we're good on. But these circuits, they're quite a pain to craft. Well, not a pain, but if you want any good number of them, yeah, they're quite complicated. Well, I think they are anyway. So we need 3 electronic circuits. So as you know, I've got a circuit factory that produces these, so they are no issue. In fact, we can do the assembler recipe, or the circuit assembler recipe, which only requires 2 circuits, 2 diodes, a good circuit board, and a copper wire, and obviously some molten tin or lead or soldering alloy, whatever you choose to use. I'll go for molten tin. So this doesn't look too bad, does it? But obviously diodes are not the easiest thing to make, and circuit boards, they're pretty straightforward. Just a phenolic circuit board and some gold wires. You can do this in a chemical reactor, which I was going to attempt, but trying to make iron 3 chloride or sodium persulfate is not straightforward at all. It's quite a complicated process. Now, I did start setting something up for this, and I got as far as, where did I get as far as? I made sulfuric acid. So I've worked out that much. I mean, I'm not a million miles away from doing the rest of it. We just need salt on program 1 with the sulfuric acid, and we'll get this sodium bisulfate dust, which we can then electrolyse and get the sodium persulfate. My only issue with that is I think it's a bit of a waste of resources, because I'm using all this sodium persulfate, which takes a rather complicated process to make, as opposed to just using gold wires and the phenolic circuit board in the shaped crafting. Now, gold wires are free for me, because I say free, nothing's free, but because of my crop setup, let's just get everything back on board. Yeah, they're renewable, so I have a good source of gold. I have stacks of it, and all these are made from my crop farms, my oilberry farms down here. So this is totally renewable and will make me an infinite amount. As you can see down the end, it's all my gold oilberries. Got my copper oilberries, my iron oilberries, and yeah, copper, iron. These must be the tin, and my gold down the end. So all of this is renewable, and it just keeps growing and harvesting on its own. So I don't mind using these resources. Although at some point I'm going to expand this even further, because believe it or not, this isn't actually big enough. I've run out of copper from the oilberries anyway. Everything else is doing okay. We've still got stacks and stacks of iron and gold and tin. Obviously you can see one of them's empty, but that's not a big problem. We have reserves. So I'm going to expand that at some point. So these good circuits, as I was explaining, and as I promised last episode, I'll make some sort of assembling process for it, which I've done. And here it is. So it's nothing too fancy. We basically start with these circuit boards. These are just wood pulp and refined glue in an assembling machine. Now, refined glue I have here in this steel tank. This is being produced constantly from my sticky resin farm above. They're just simply going to the centrifuges. I don't know why that one stopped actually. I find this sometimes, one of them stops. If I take the, yeah, there you go, take that out and it should start again. So anyway, yeah, these are making refined glue for me constantly. And again, renewable, so it's at no real cost other than EU, which I'm using the power of the sun for, so it's all fine, it's all good. So that's our refined glue. Our wood pulp, well, we just grow some trees and macerate the wood. We've got plenty of them growing. We insert the wood pulp. Obviously I can put stacks and stacks of this in here. At some point I might pipe it in. Hopefully that will transfer over and make some circuit boards. It should be doing it. Oh, here we go, it's just gone. It's the LV covers, they take I think 20 seconds before they take anything. So yeah, that's producing the phenolic circuit boards for us, which we need. And with those, oh sorry, pressing the wrong buttons. Yeah, I think the shaped crafting route is just the easiest one with the gold wires. I could possibly set up an auto crafting table, but I'm not being too successful with those, so I might look at doing that. Gold wires. I thought I set this up to accept gold wires. Maybe I didn't. Let's have a look underneath. So I've piped it. And it appears to be connected. Right, let's just have a look. Actually, which one was it? My intricate piping system. So it's the one just past the barrier. So it's that one there. Okay, so second along from the pillars. Actually, let me just put my piston boots back on and armour. Now, do we risk the jump? Okay, so it's this one here. Well, I think it was this one here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we just need to turn the conveyor on. So put it on to import and input. That should import the gold for us. Might have to wait the 20 seconds again. But that should start processing. And hopefully making gold wires. Actually make sure that's facing up. Yep, so that's now producing gold wires for us. This will require us obviously to use the shaped crafting, but and we can make our circuit boards, which we are just leaving this chest. So obviously once that's produced quite a few, I shall make a stack of those. Meanwhile, we've got, should we cover the diodes yet? Yeah, I think so. Diodes, they're a big part of it, and they are quite a complicated part. So I've set this up with some quartzite dust at the end, and copper ingots this end. Well, I don't really need to insert them there because there's already some in there. So this is just a wire mill, obviously, program 3 to make fine copper wires. They then get fed into the basic assembly machine. which requires molten glass gained from the quartzite dust in the fluid extractor. This also requires, I think it's the small gallium arsenide dust. So if we just take one out and look at the recipe, so you've got several different recipes. We don't have multi-polyethylene yet. So you've got program 4 there. Okay, so this must be the recipe here. 4 fine copper wires, small pile of gallium arsenide dust, program 4, some molten glass, gives us 2 diodes. So to get small piles of gallium arsenide dust, the easiest way I could work out to do this was simply to put your gallium arsenide crystals in to a forge hammer. So once you've made them in your EBF, place them in the forge hammer. They get turned into a smaller version of that, basically, which I'm hoping they'll show us. Yep, small gallium arsenide crystal, which then gets macerated down into the dust. Now there's a pipe behind here that comes back into the assembling machine, and as you can see, we've got our small piles of gallium arsenide dust. So that's making our diodes. Right, the other thing we need are some copper wires. So again, at the moment I'm just manually putting the ingots in here and making some copper wires. Now, if and when I expand my IC2 ore berries, I will be piping in the copper ingots, but at the moment I'm just choosing to place them in there because, well, it takes a long time to get farms that size, and I'm not quite ready to do it again. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, and yeah, I'm hoping eventually these will all fill up again. Once it's filled everything up, they should start backing up and fill those barrels, hopefully. So you can see this one's already full. So eventually, once everything else is full up, they should fill up. That's my theory on it anyway. So, good circuits. So we've covered diodes, we've covered the circuit board. We've covered the basic circuits that we're already making from the LVH. That's the copper wires. So yeah, that's pretty much everything we need, other than a molten tin, which I am using my Auberry farm for, and that's getting pipes directly into this fluid extractor and smelting it down into molten tin. So actually, if we put output, then we can do fluids also output. So that fills up the circuit assembly and ready. As we know, we need good circuit boards, electronic circuits, diodes and copper wires. I'll take a stack of those out, not 2 stacks. They can go in. Let's take all of our diodes that we have at the moment. Let's make a few more circuit boards. Let's just leave that like that so we know what we're making. And the copper wires was the other one. Hopefully it's going to make some good circuits. And there we go, we're now producing good electronic circuits. So it's not the most fancy system, but it is quite efficient, doesn't take too long to set up. It's just using basic LV machines. Sounded like something stalled then, didn't it? We are running quite a lot at once here. I'm not sure what's stalling. The batteries are here, I think. So they're all full. Must be something else. Right, let's take those 6 out. We can come back and get the rest later if we need them, or we will need them eventually. Oh, it's night time, hadn't realised that. Okay, so let's attempt, you're going to hate this in MV2, number 4. So we need to craft a robot arm. Which I think I'll do in the assembler again. So copper cables, motors, a piston. Right, I'll put all the items in here. Let's just take out half. I think we have the cables, yep. So the rods. Now I'm going to make a MV extruder soon, which a lot of people have suggested I do as a priority. That is now unlocked over here, extrude all the things. So there's a whole load of different plates we've got to make, different shapes, and then it ends with the advanced extruder. We might do this at the end once we've done all the you're going to hate this quest. So this will require more power. That's my only concern on it, so I need to think about power setup. Right, I'm going to the assembling machine. Okay, so it doesn't matter what program it's on, it just requires those items. How many of those? Well, by mass, I'll just put the whole stack there for a moment. Okay, so that's the robot arm. Next we have item removed, 2 more circuits, that's good. Next we have the emitter. So we need this for the microwave, the scanner, the precision laser engraver, etc. Okay. Right, again I'm going to use the assembler. I like the sound of this component assembly line, although I think that's quite advanced, so we don't have that yet. Yes, it's some sort of multi-block by the look of it. And I'll wait for that to unlock itself, I think. So we need an ender pearl, some electrum rods, a couple of circuits and a copper cable. I have been making electrum ingots. So let's just pop a few of those in the lathe until we get the extruder, which I know is a much better return. So ender pearls, let me have a look. Just the one I think we needed. Yeah. Okay, still crafting those. So I think it was 2 circuits. Two copper cables. Now we're just waiting on the rods. Let's see what we get in our loot bag. Okay, some saplings and yeah, as I thought, nowhere to put them all. At least it gives us something to do while it makes the rods. While I'm here, I'm going to get rid of some of these water artichoke globes. I don't know where I'm going to store these yet. Just gives me a bit more space to store stuff. Okay, that's a bit more organised. Okay, that's our emitter. And next we have the sensor, which we need for the scanner and the seismic prospector. I'm hoping this is the IC2 scanner because I really want that. Okay, one electron rods we already do have. Flawless emerald, I think we have some of those. 4 aluminium plates. Well, hopefully we've got the emerald down here. Yes, that one. And there's our sensor. Okay, so let's have a look at our loot bags and see what we get. Make sure we've got some inventory space, which we do. Wow, that completely filled my inventory again. Yeah, all these blocks are in here. What can I take out? Marble. Oh, some vanadium steel. That's handy. In fact, the ender pearls can go in there. A rubber tree sapling we really don't need. Vanadium steel I think we'll definitely will be using soon. Although I can't remember where I'm keeping it. Damascus steel. Maybe we don't have any vanadium steel yet. Electrical steel, dark steel. Easy way of doing it is just press T on it. No, that appears to be our first vanadium steel, so let's place it in there. Emeralds can go back down here. Can skip the night, and then let's see what we want to do next. I may have a go at making this advanced extruder actually, because it's definitely something we want very soon. Portable prospecting tool. Now that sounds quite handy. Right click on rock for prospecting current chunk. Right click on bedrock for prospecting fluid. Chance for a successful scan 40%. Okay. Unfortunately, the tech to make it repairable or rechargeable doesn't work, so you have to make a new one each time it breaks. It does work better at higher tiers and lasts longer with better materials. Okay, I'll give that a go at some point. Looks quite expensive. And we can make sulfuric acid now, which I'll just show you how I do that. So as we know, I've got various range of different fluids in my tanks, and I think it was this one which is drained now, was full of hydrogen sulfide. Yeah, so the sulfuric acid is next to it. So if you take hydrogen sulfide, which, how did I make that? I can't remember now, but it must have been a byproduct of doing something. Hydrogen gas and sulfur. Could be sulfuric gas and hydrogen, or sulfuric heavy fuel and hydrogen. Yeah, that was probably the way we did it when we was making heavy fuel, and it was our byproduct. So I believe, let's have a look on the uses. Yeah, so I mixed it with a water cell and a chemical reactor, which is being done just here. That requires more fluid than that to mix. I've put a fluid canner underneath and connected it up, because what this does is it just takes the empty cells, puts them back through to the fluid canner, cans of water, which is being piped in underneath, I believe. I can't quite see it from here, but there is a wooden pipe underneath, piping in water. And yeah, it's just a continuing cycle then. That then goes up to the distillery. Once it's made, what does it make? It makes a distilled hydrogen sulfide, I believe. Let's have a look. So yeah, diluted sulfuric acid is actually what it makes, which we then actually can't remember what we do with it then. Tell you what, let's have a look what it's doing. Have I got any empty cells on me? I can't remember how much we need, but let's put some in here. Yeah, so you can see it's taking the diluted sulfuric acid on program 1 in the distillery. Yeah, it has to be on program 1, and it makes sulfuric acid. If it's not, you can end up with water again. Yeah, which is going into this tank. So I've got as far as making sulfuric acid, which has quite a few uses from what I can see. And I was going to use it for making these circuit boards, but actually I'm better off just using the gold wires, which I grow for free. So that's how I make sulfuric acid. It's up to you how you make it. There's a few ways, I believe, but I'm just using up some of the byproducts I'd left over, like the hydrogen sulfide. Okay, so moving on from that, we want to make the advanced extruder and all of its shapes. Now there's a lot of shapes. Are these optional? No, they are a retrieval task. So we are going to need these. So we're going to need a lot of blank casts. 144 MB of aluminium brass. Okay, we do have some. So how many shapes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Quite a lot. I'll see how many I can make. Ah, we've switched to steel, which we didn't want to do. Now, aluminium brass, been a while since I made it. Also aluminium molten copper. Hopefully we've got enough aluminium in there. If not, I wonder if I've got any aluminium gravel ore still lying around. And where would it be? I'm pretty sure I've got some somewhere. There we go. Just had to be close enough for it to search for it. Still quite a bit to go. Okay, so we can put some more copper in if we want. I've got some copper. I think we can start making more, can't we? I'm wondering if I have any of these shapes already. I think my extruder shapes are here somewhere. We have a ring, casing, plate and cell. The easiest way to do this is just take them out and it should tick them off the list. Okay, so that's 4 of them. We still need another 11 then. Unless we have any. These are just moulds. Empty shape plate. Extruder shape for boats. Don't think that counts. Now we need a couple of tools. So wire cutters and a file. We're out of molten steel, aren't we? Okay, let's put these other shapes back because we've made those already previously. Right, the bolt shape, wire cutters and file there. Tiny pipe. Small pipe. Normal pipe. Okay, let's get these ones crafted and then we can carry on. There's quite a few to make, isn't there? Oh, we're out of steel again. Didn't realise it would take that much steel. I think we hold something like 24. Okay, let's just see how we're doing with these. Right, so it's updating as we go along, so we can put these in the chest. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 still to make. Okay. We need another 7 shapes because we've got one ready. Right, that's what our blank cast made at least. So we're on to large pipe next. I'm just going to put one in at a time in case I make too many. Huge pipe. I mean, it looks like it's moving around one at a time, but okay, gear. Small gear. I feel like I've made this one before, but I probably made a mould before, not the casting, the extruder shape, sorry. Casting form rotor shape. I can see this is going to be really useful just by the amount of recipes there are. Turbine blade, that's something new. Right, so now we've just got to turn all these into extruder shapes. I think there were alternative ways of making these, but like fluid solidifiers, but you still got to make the casting form, so I might as well just use the casting table. No, didn't put the item in there. You can melt them back down again. Yeah, this uses a lot of steel, doesn't it? I think it's going to be worth it though. Thankfully I had quite a lot of lava. Okay, so we've now got molten steel again. And we're on our last one. then we've just got to make the machine itself. Hang on, where's the bottle? There was one more hiding in there. Right, so that's the first part of the quest complete. All the different extruder shapes. I might need that. Just skip the night and let's make the machine. So hopefully we've got all the components we need now. We should have. So we're going to need 2 good circuits, some 4 times copper nickel wires, which I don't think we have at the moment, but that'd just be on program 4 on the wire mill. Is it 1 ingot per wire? Hang on, that's program 3. I'm sure I'll put that on 4. I need 1 more ingot, aren't I now? Steel fluid pipe, which we should have around in our pipe chest. No, not that one. Small steel, large steel. No, we don't. Okay. We will be able to make these in the extruder soon. MV machine hole and an electronic piston. Right, so we've got machine casings but not holes. I think we're going to need one to make it though. I've got a good idea what it's going to be, but oh no, didn't quite think it would be that. Right, so let's bookmark you. The raw iron plates. I don't actually think we have any. Ah, maybe we do. Okay, there might have been actually an easier way of doing that, yeah. Although we don't have multi-polyethylene yet, so we can't do it that way. That's going to be something we're going to need to set up, definitely. So we're going to have to look into that multi-polyethylene. So we have our machine hole. Okay, we now have our advanced extruder. That's good. Let's claim our rewards. Okay, it's giving us some electronic circuits. Now normally I'd be really pleased about that, but I've got so many I'm not too worried. It's still good. I'm still happy. Okay, so we've made an advanced extruder. Now, it looks like we're going to need to make these machine holes for a whole host of different machines. So we need to work out how to make polyethylene, I would say. So we'll go away and have a look at this and see how we can do this. Sulfuric acid and ethylene. I think that might be the way forwards. Sulfuric acid we have, and we don't have ethylene yet, but we have ethanol. Not a great deal, but we do have some. So this I think we can use to make the ethylene. Yeah, there it is. It's an MV recipe, however, in a chemical reactor. Yeah, I'm not bothered about making vodka. Okay, so yeah, it looks like chemical reactor, ethanol and sulfuric acid, 1,000 litres of each will give us 1,000 litres of ethylene and some diluted sulfuric acid, which I think we can put back in to make more sulfuric acid in the distillery. Yeah. Oh, it's only going to give us slightly less return, so that's not too bad actually. Okay, that's going to be something I'm going to have a look into, and I'm going to have a look into how we're going to power this as well, because I do want to get this set up. We're going to have to set up a MV machine area, which I don't think is going to be up here. I think we're going to use this space in here. We have a huge area here for MV, and yeah, I think this is the way forward. Okay, so well, I'll leave this episode here. Hope you found it informative and a little bit useful. Covered a few things like the sulfuric acid and obviously how to make good circuits a bit easier. Set up my nice little process. We'll run back up so just so you can see it one last time before we go. Through our circuit factory. So yeah, simple setup for your refined glue. Just taking a sticky resin and centrifuging it. I'm saving the rubber dust and the plant balls, which we're probably going to use the plant balls for biodiesel anyway. So it's a byproduct of making the refined glue. As you can see, it's filling up. So all we need to do then is add the wood pulp, which is nice and easy, just wood in a macerator, and that's making our circuit boards. Gold wires are being produced en masse at the moment, but we've already got 17 stacks of it, so we can make a nice amount of circuit boards. Molten glass is what we need here. So how you want to get that is up to you, but I choose to use the quartzite dust at the moment. I think that's the only real way at the moment in the fluid extractor. Once we get the MV extractor, however, things will change, and I think we can just put sand straight in and get molten glass, so that will make it a bit easier. Fine copper wires, it's just a gallium arsenide, so that's the hardest part. Once you've made that in your EBF, put it in a full chamber, then a macerator, that'll pipe it round into your assembly machine and give you them small piles of gallium arsenide dust that we need. So yeah, hope you have enjoyed this one. Please let me know what you think. As always, please subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, leave me some comments, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.